Okay, see here, the process 2 to 3 is constant process, constant pressure heat addition. That means at constant pressure we are going to add heat, and what are the parameters are going to increase? The temperature and entropy. Okay, I will show you that in TS diagram. Since we are going to talk about PV diagram only, we have to concentrate on variation, pressure and volume only. Okay, see at constant pressure, that means the piston is going to move from here to here. That means from top dead center to bottom dead center, because of some parameters constant, we are going to have some constant pressure heat addition here. Okay, that means it is only assumption. Okay, because of this assumption, we are going to have this process 2 to 3 constant pressure process, and at this process we are going to add some heat here. Okay, how we are going to add heat? Okay, with the help of fuel injection. Okay, because of injection of fuel, there will be some self ignition, temperature reached by this fuel, and there will be combustion. Okay, and because of that combustion, what is going to happen? There will be power produced. Okay, that means gases are going to expand, and these expanded gases try to push the piston downwards. Okay, that means that is the process 3 to 4. 1 minute please. Okay, that is the process 3 to 4. During this process there will be increase in volume. Let's see here, the volume is going to increase from V3 to V4. Okay, why there is increase in volume? Okay, because the piston is going to move from top dead center to bottom dead center, and there will be reduction in pressure. Okay, see the reduction is going to be of pressure. The reduction here in pressure is from P3 to P4. Okay, and that is about the process 3 to 4. And what is process 4 to 1? Constant volume heat rejection. Okay, as like in Otto cycle only, heat rejection is going to be happen at constant volume. Here also in diesel cycle also, heat rejection is going to be as like in Otto cycle. Okay, see the process. During this process, what is going to happen? At constant volume, there will be reduction in pressure from P4 to P1. Okay, that is the process 4 to 1. And this is the PV diagram in case of diesel cycle. Okay, coming to TS diagram, to the process 1 to 1, 1 to 2, isentropic compression. Compression means increase in pressure. Okay, because of that law, P is equal to MRT, both are inversely proportional. So if there is increase in pressure, what happens to the temperature? Temperature also going to increase. So temperature increase from T1 to T2, and that too, since it is isentropic process, at S1 is equal to S2, temperature is going to increase from T1 to T2. Okay, and what is the next process? 2 to 3. Okay, what is that process? Constant pressure heat addition. Okay, during 2 to 3 there will be heat addition. Okay, if we add heat, that means if we inject fuel, there will be already some pressure and temperature raised for the air. Okay, after dispersing the fuel into that dense air, it is going to combust. Okay, when it reaches its self ignition temperature. Okay, so that's why there will be increase in temperature here. Okay, because of that there will be huge increase in temperature, and also entropy is going to increase here. Okay, it is shown clearly here. See how the entropy is going to increase. Here the entropy is increased from S2 to S3. Okay, S2 to S3, and temperature increased from T2 to T3. Okay, temperature increase from T2 to T3, and entropy increase from S2 to S3. Okay, this is where we are going to develop the power. Okay, and because of this there will be expansion of gases because of power develop, and this expanded gases, what will do? These will push the piston downwards. Okay, so there will be increase in volume. Okay, since there is increase in since there is a movement in piston from top dead center to bottom dead center, there will be increase in volume within the cylinder. Okay, so what happens to the pressure? Pressure and temperature, pressure is going to reduce. So if pressure reduces, what happens to the temperature? Temperature is also going to reduce, but the temperature is going to reduce isentropically. Okay, that means at a constant entropy, this temperature is going to reduce. Okay, see, it is going to reduce from S3 to S4. Okay, and next one is constant volume heat rejection. Okay, at constant volume we are going to reject the heat here. Okay, so that there will be decrease in entropy and temperature. Temperature is going to reduce from T4 to T1 and entropy is going to reduce from S4 to S1. Coming to dual cycle, okay, in case of dual cycle, these are the several processes we are going to have, okay, and 1 to 2 isentropic compression, 2 to 3 constant volume heat addition, 3 to 4 constant pressure heat rejection, 4 to 5 isentropic expansion, 5 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. Okay, in dual cycle is nothing, this dual cycle is nothing but we are going to add heat both at a constant pressure and a constant volume. Okay, so that is the difference between the previous cycle, Otto cycle, diesel cycle and dual cycle. Okay, the process, all the processes are same except this combustion process. Okay, at this combustion heat addition process, what we are going to do, some of the heat addition is going to be at constant volume and some of the heat addition process is going to be at constant pressure. That is here the process in a PV diagram. Okay, we are going to show the variation in pressure and volume. Okay, see, during isentropic compression, pressure is increased from P1 to P2, and heat addition, there will be increase in pressure from P2 to P3. Okay, and at it is going to be at constant volume. That means when the piston is at top dead center. Okay, and after leaving the top dead center, there will be some addition of heat here. That means at constant pressure we are going to add heat here. Okay, why we are going to do this combustion is going to be happen in different process. Okay, to improve the efficiency and power development. Okay, to improve the power development and efficiency, we are going to supply heat into different process. Okay, so that's why that means we are going to utilize the advantages of both the cycles. That means what are the cycles, Otto cycle and diesel cycle. Okay, we are going to use the advantages of both Otto cycle and diesel cycle, since that's why we are going to have more efficiency and power output. Okay, and the process 4 to 5 is isentropic process. That means here the volume is going to increase, and because of that increase, pressure is going to reduce. Okay, from P4 to P5, and the process 5 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. Okay, because of that what is going to reduce, temperature and entropy will reduce. Okay, which is going to be shown on TS diagram. Okay, and pressure also is going to reduce from P5 to P1. That means here P1 is the atmospheric pressure. Okay, coming to TS diagram, there will be increase in temperature isentropically. That means S1 is equal to S2. Temperature is increased from T1 to T2, and there is a increase in temperature and entropy in case of the second process, that is 2 to 3 constant volume heat addition. There is further increase in temperature and entropy. See, temperature increase from T2 to T3. Okay, and entropy increase from S2 to S3. Okay, and there is another heat addition process which is at constant pressure. Okay, during this process also there will be increase in temperature and entropy here. See how the temperature and pressure are going to increase here. Okay, from 3 to 4, the temperature is increased from T3 to T4. Okay, and entropy increased from S3 to S4. Okay, entropy increased from S3 to S4, temperature increased from T3 to T4. Here T4 is the peak pressure in case of dual cycle. Okay, and that is how we are going to add heat. Okay, if we add heat, there will be increase in temperature and entropy, which will help us to push the piston downwards after the production of power. Okay, and what is the process 4 to 5? Expansion process. Okay, that too at isentropic. Okay, so isentropically there will be expansion. So at constant entropy, since it is expansion, there will be reduction in pressure. Because of reduction in pressure, there will be reduction in temperature. So temperature is going to reduce from T4 to T5, that too, but at isentropic conditions. That means at constant entropy, S4 is equal to S4, temperature is going to reduce from T4 to T5. Okay, and what is next process 5 to 1? Constant volume heat rejection. Okay, at constant volume there will be rejection of heat. Okay, if there is rejection of heat, what is going to happen for the temperature and entropy? These two are going to reduce. Okay, the temperature reduced from T5 to T1, and also entropy reduced from S5 to S1. Okay, see here, temperature reduced from T5 to T1 and entropy reduced from S5 to S1. Okay, that is the dual cycle. Okay, next coming to the air fuel cycles. Okay, this is the main difference here we have. in air fuel cycle, this is the difference. Okay, this is the air air standard cycle. Okay, the process 1 to 2, 2 to 3, okay, 3 to 4, and 4 to 1. Okay, these are the constant specific heats. Okay, if we have constant specific heats, that is a standard cycle, that is the process which we have seen till now. Okay, whatever the darkened line is there, okay, that is the a standard cycle. Okay, and here it is not double dash, it is one prime only. Okay, one dash only, that is the cycle from 1 to 2 dash, 2 dash to 3 dash, 3 dash to 4 dash. Okay, that is the dotted line which is going to be the variable specific heats. Okay, that means here because of change in air fuel ratio. Okay, in air fuel cycle, what is the main change? There will be change in air fuel ratio. Okay, here we are going to use air fuel mixture. Okay, in air standard cycle we have used only air and we have lot of assumptions there. Okay, and we are going to consider that as a perfect gas like that. Okay, and there will be no heat transfer, mass transfer, and specific heats are going to be constant. Okay, number of moles are going to be constant, gamma is going to be constant, like that we have assumed. Okay, but since it is air fuel cycle, those assumptions we are not going to consider. Okay, in case of air cycle, air fuel mixture, we are going to take the actual working medium, nothing but air fuel mixture we are going to take instead of simple air. Okay, so that's why if we use air fuel mixture, okay, there will be lot of differences in case of a process, in case of a cycle. Okay, if we use air in a cycle, okay, it is going to behave, that means the whatever the pressure and temperature are going to be attained, and by using air fuel mixture, that pressure and temperature which are going to be attained are going to be different. Okay, there will be lot of reduction in pressure and temperature. Okay, see here, if we have used air fuel mixture, whatever the temperature raised, that is going to reduce. Okay, whatever the pressure is raised, that is going to reduce. Since it is actual cycle, okay, we are going to have several losses, and because of mostly there will be specific heat changes. Okay, that means there will be variation in case of specific heats. Okay, so that's why there will be reduction in pressure and temperature here, and because of that the efficiency is going to reduce. Okay, if we assume we are going to have most pressures and temperatures, high pressures and temperatures. Okay, either it may be compression, expansion. Okay, because of that expansion, here we are going to have linear things. Okay, and there will be high pressure and temperatures. Okay, because of assumptions. But if we use air fuel mixture, okay, there will be appropriate air fuel ratios. Depending on that air fuel ratios, okay, there will be reduction in pressure and temperature, and because of that reduction in pressure and temperature, okay, efficiency automatically reduces. Okay, that means power output is going to reduce because of less temperature. That means whatever the required, whatever the attained pressure and temperature are there, those are going to be less. Okay, if you use air fuel mixture, and because of that air fuel mixture, we are going to get less power developed when compared to a standard cycle. Okay, so that's why there will be increase in efficiency also. Okay, so this is if we have air fuel cycle, that means we are going to have variable specific heats like 1 to 2 dash, 2 dash to 3 dash, 3 dash to 4 dash. Okay, so 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1 is a standard cycle. Okay, and 1 to 2 dash, 2 dash to 3 dash, 3 dash to 4 dash, and 4 dash to 1 is air fuel cycle. Okay, I hope you got some idea on it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 is ideal. Okay, which is a standard. Okay, and 1 to 2 dash, 2 dash to 3 dash, 3 dash to 4 dash, and 4 dash to 1 is air fuel cycle. Okay, so that is the how the pressure and temperature variations are clearly shown in case of this PV diagram, and because of this low pressure and temperatures developed here, okay, we are going to have less reduced power, and also efficiency is going to be reduced in case of air fuel cycles. Okay, and in this air fuel cycle also we are going to have a lot of considerations here. Okay, and before going to these considerations, we have to talk about air fuel cycle. Actually, what is air fuel cycle? Okay, it is defined as the theoretical cycle that is based on the actual properties of the cylinder gases. Okay, so what are the actual process? Okay, if it is air fuel cycle we are going to consider, okay, it is going to have several different properties than the air standard cycle. Okay, like composition of cylinder gases. Okay, if it is a air standard cycle we are going to have only air here. Okay, if it is a air standard cycle. Okay, but if it is air fuel cycle there will be composition of lot of gases, like fuel will be there. Okay, air will be there. Okay, water vapor in air will be there, and also residual gases also will be there. Okay, after the exhaust some of the gases are going to be remain in the combustion chamber. Okay, that gases we call them as residual gases. Okay, because of this residual gases also there may be some effect on the fresh in charge. That means whatever the fresh charge coming into the cylinder. Okay, because of this residual gases there is some difference between pressure and temperature. Because of this residual gases there may be chances of pre-ignition. Okay, so we have to restrict that also. Okay, so that's why there will be a lot of difference in case of air standard and air fuel cycle. In air standard cycle we are going to have only air, but in air fuel cycle we are going to have all this fuel, we have air, we have water vapor also is there, and also some residual gases are going to be there within the cylinder. Okay, depending on all these there will be reduction in pressure and temperature. Okay, if pressure and temperature reduces, what happens? Automatically the power output is going to reduce and efficiency also going to reduce. Okay, and here in case of air standard cycles we are going to assume that there will be complete combustion. Okay, but in case of air fuel cycles there is no such complete combustion. We are going to have incomplete mixing of fuel and air. That means dissociation is going to there. That means incomplete combustion will be there. Okay, and it is going to be happen at higher temperatures. Okay, if the temperature is above 1600 Kelvin, okay, if the temperature is above 1600 Kelvin there will be dissociation. Okay, that means it is opposite to combustion. Okay, opposite to combustion is the dissociation. Okay, because of the dissociation the temperature is going to reduce here. Okay, so that's why the temperature is going to reduce because of dissociation. If temperature reduces, what is going to happen? Power output is reduced, automatically efficiency is going to reduce. Why? Because efficiency depends on power output and heat supplied. Since power output reduces, efficiency also reduces. Okay, and also another consideration in case of air fuel cycle is specific heat is going to vary. Okay, if the temperature changes, we have assumed that specific heats are going to be constant in case of air standard cycles. Okay, whatever the process is, the specific heats are going to be remain the same. Cp and Cv we have used, and if Cp and Cv are same, gamma is also going to be the same. Why? Because gamma is the ratio of Cp and Cv. Cp by Cv is gamma. Okay, so if there is change in specific heats, there will be change in gamma. That means because of increase in temperature, since we are going to use air fuel mixture. Okay, if there is any temperature raise in air fuel mixture, okay, definitely there will be change in specific heats. Okay, I already shown you. Okay, see the change in specific heat is going to be like this here. Okay, so because of that there will be reduction in temperature here. Okay, the specific heat is going to reduce here in case of air fuel cycle. Okay, since we are going to use air fuel mixture, depending upon the raise in temperature the specific heat is going to raise. Okay, so here the temperatures produced are less, so the specific heats are also going to vary. But in air standard cycle we have assumed whatever the temperature is there within the cycle, we have assumed specific heat changes are going to be constant. But here in this air fuel cycle, with the increase in temperature, specific heat also definitely increases. Actually it is going to increase, but in case of air standard cycles we are going to assume they are same throughout the cycle. Okay, but here we are not going to assume like that. Okay, why? Because we are going to use the actual medium, air fuel mixture we are going to use. Okay, and ratio of specific heats also changes. Ratio of specific heats means nothing but gamma. Gamma is also going to change here. Okay, if there is specific heat change, that means at constant pressure and constant volume, if specific heat changes, automatically gamma is going to change. Why? Because it is a ratio. Okay, and change in number of molecules in cylinder. Okay, because of change in pressure and temperature, there will be number of molecules also are going to change. Okay, for suppose if we consider liquid and gas, what is going to happen? Okay, are they same when they change their phase? Okay, number of molecules are going to be the same in case of liquid phase and gaseous phase. No, not at all. Number of molecules are going to increase in case of gaseous mixture. Okay, so that's why here there will be change in number of molecules in case of air-filled mixture. Similarly, with the raise in pressure and temperature, the number of molecules within the cylinder is also going to vary. Okay, so there is a lot of difference between air standard air fuel cycle, and here also we are going to assume several assumptions. Okay, like in air standard cycle we have a lot of assumptions, but that assumptions are minimized here in case of air fuel cycle. Okay, and what are the assumptions we are going to consider in case of air fuel cycle are these. Okay, that means there is no chemical change in either fuel or air prior to combustion. That means before combustion only there is no change. Okay, that is one assumption we are going to take in case of air fuel cycle. If it is actual cycle, what we are going to take, there will be definitely change in pressure and temperature of the uh, air fuel mixture which we are going to use in case of engine. Okay, that means there will be chemical change. Okay, but here we are going to assume in case of air fuel cycle there will be no chemical change in case of air and fuel. That means before the combustion. Okay, before combustion there will be no chemical reaction between air and fuel. Okay, but in actual case it is not appropriate. Okay, there will be definitely change in combustion. That means before combustion only there will be changes in fuel and air. Okay, and coming to combustion. Okay, subsequent to combustion, the charge or mixture is always in chemical equilibrium. That means reactants are going to give products automatically, and there is no such imbalances are not there. That means the combustion here is going to be equilibrium. Okay, whatever the chemical reaction is done, that is going to be in equilibrium. Okay, but in actual case it is not going to be in equilibrium. That means in actual cycle. Okay, in air fuel cycle it is going to be in chemical equilibrium, but in actual cycle it is not going to be in equilibrium. Okay, that is the difference between air fuel and actual cycles. Okay, and there is no heat transfer between the gases and cylinder walls in any process. Okay, since it is air fuel cycle, we are going to neglect the losses, as I already said. Okay, so those losses we are not going to consider. Okay, losses are nothing but this heat transfer. Okay, whatever the, if it is actual cycle, there will be heat transfer between this cylinder gases, and that means whatever the heat is there, that is going to transfer to the cylinder walls and piston walls. Okay, so it is not going to be considered here within this air fuel cycle. Okay, so that is an assumption. That means there is no heat transfer here between the gases and cylinder walls in any process. Okay, but in actual case there will be heat transfer. Okay, those losses we need to consider. Okay, but in air fuel cycle we are not going to consider those heat transfer losses. Okay, and here and another more assumption in case of air fuel cycle is compression and expansion processes are frictionless. Okay, we already know friction plays a very important role in case of increase in temperature and all those things. Okay, so in case of compression and expansion, if there is friction, it will be one type of pressure and temperature we are going to have. If it is frictionless, one type of pressure and temperature we are going to have. Okay, so we are going to assume this process compression and expansion are going to be frictionless. That means we are going to we are not going to consider frictional losses here. Okay, because of friction there will be definitely losses will be there, some wastage of power will be there, and but in case of air fuel cycle we are not going to consider those frictional losses. Okay, so we are not going to consider heat transfer losses, we are not going to consider frictional losses in case of air fuel cycle. Okay, and also the velocities are negligibly small. Okay, whatever the velocities for the air fuel mixture is there, that means for the combustion gases is there, those are going to be very in a small period. That means very negligibly small the velocities are going to be. But in case of actual cycle, the velocities are going to vary indifferently. Okay, so there will, these are also it is a, that means we are going to assume the velocities are going to be very small here, and also we are going to assume the combustion also. Okay, combustion is going to be take place instantaneously at top dead center. Okay, as like I have shown you in previous diagram. Okay, at top dead center only the combustion is going to take place, but in case of actual cycle at top dead center it is not going to happen. Okay, since when the piston is going to be in the next, that means during the expansion stroke also the combustion is going to continue. Okay, but in case of air fuel cycle at the top dead center only whole combustion is going to takes place instantaneously. Okay, if it is actual it is not going to happen. So this assumption we are going to consider in case of air fuel cycle. Okay, briefly I am going to tell you. Okay, we are going to neglect losses. Okay, what are the losses? Heat transfer loss and frictional loss, we are going to neglect them, and also velocities are going to be neglected. That means very small velocities we are going to consider here, and also combustion is going to take place at top dead center only. Okay, which is not possible in case of actual cycle. Okay, and also there is no chemical change in fuel or air. Okay, if there is any mixture at a certain pressure and temperature, there will be definitely some chemical reactions. Okay, but we are not going to consider those reactions in case of air fuel cycles. Okay, before the combustion. Also after combustion also the charge or mixture, that means the gases are there now. Okay, they are going to be in equilibrium only. Okay, we are going to consider them in, they are in equilibrium. Okay, but in actual case it is not going to happen, which is an assumption in case of air fuel cycle. So these are the assumptions we need to consider in case of air fuel cycle. That means we are going to neglect all the losses, and also no reaction, and also it is going to be in chemical equilibrium, which is not possible in actual case, and also combustion is going to take place at top dead center only. Okay, and if it is actual cycle it is going to continue through the next stroke also. That means within the expansion stroke also the combustion is going to continue. Okay, so these are the basic assumptions we have taken in case of air fuel cycle. Mostly we need to consider we need not to consider losses. Okay, that is the main difference between air fuel cycle and actual cycle. Okay, and some of the important points while coming to air fuel cycle. The basic advantage of air fuel cycle is that while the air cycle studies only the effect of CR, that means in a air standard cycle, there will be, that means the analysis is going to be depend on compression ratio. Okay, and but in case of air fuel cycle, it is going to be depend on whatever the efficiency and power output are there. Okay, those are going to be effect on compression ratio, fuel air ratio, inlet pressure and temperature, also variable specific heat. That means specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume. These are also going to change, and other factors like engine, which are going to affect on engine performance. That means efficiency and power output and performance of engine is going to reduce because of considering all these factors. Okay, so we can analyze these. We can analyze using several parameters in case of air fuel cycles. Like in air standard cycle, we need to consider only the compression ratio. Okay, but here in this air fuel cycle, there are several parameters which are going to affect the performance of engine, like compression ratio, fuel air ratio, inlet pressure, temperature, variable. Depending upon inlet pressure and temperature during the suction stroke also, okay, there will be lot of differences in case of work output and power development. Okay, that means efficiency is also going to vary depending on all these parameters. Okay, and if there is a inlet pressure and temperature change, okay, definitely specific heats are also going to change. Okay, because of that also there will be reduction in performance. Okay, since we are not going to assume, we are going to take actual things like compression ratio, fuel air ratio, inlet pressure and temperature. We are going to assume the real parameters here. So that's why there will be decrease in efficiency and power output here in case of air fuel cycle. Okay, and also the next important thing is air fuel ratio changes during the engine operation. Okay, throughout the operation the air fuel ratio is going to change. Okay, but that means depending upon the engine speed. Okay, we need to have different fuel air ratios. Okay, but in case of waste standard cycle, what we have assumed, okay, throughout the air suction is going to be the same. Okay, whatever the engine speed, air suction is going to be the same. Okay, but in case of air fuel mixture, here we have to according to the speed of the engine, okay, according to the acceleration we have given, depending on that air fuel ratio should be there. Okay, otherwise there will be huge very much complicancies will be there. Okay, so that's why depending upon engine speed, air fuel ratio is going to change. Okay, that we have to consider importantly here. And here in case of air fuel cycle, the change, okay, that means if there is change in air fuel ratio, it is going to affect the composition of gases. Okay, if we change air fuel ratio, nothing but here in fuel what we are going to have hydrocarbons. Okay, in air we are going to have oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and all those. Okay, depending upon air fuel ratio, the composition of these gases also will vary. Okay, right now, okay, if there is any change in air fuel ratio, that means there will in proportionate ratios we are going to mix air and fuel. Okay, but if we change that air fuel ratio, what is going to happen? Okay, the whatever the gases are there within that fuel and air, those components, okay, those composition is also going to vary. Okay, before and also after the combustion also it is going to vary. That means the percentage of CO2, CO, water, etc. are going to change, okay, in the exhaust gases. Okay, so depending upon the air fuel ratio, these are the parameters. That means composition of gases are going to change both before and after combustion. Okay, and next one, the amount of exhaust gases in the clearance volume varies with speed and load on the engine. Okay, we have exhaust. Okay, after the exhaust also there may be some gases are going to live within the clearance volume only. Okay, if it is going to be more speed, okay, so engine speed is going to run at very high speeds. So sorry, the engine is going to be run at very high speeds. What is going to happen? There will be some gases are going to be remain in the clearance volume only. Okay, all the gases are not going to leave the cylinder. Okay, so because of that there will be chances of pre-ignition. Okay, whether it may be SA or CI engine, there may be in CI engines it may be most pre-ignition is going to happen. Okay, why? Because it will reach its self-ignition temperature before before the piston reaches top dead center only. Okay, so that's why, because of if it is going to be high speed, what is going to happen? More amount of gases are going to be remain within the cylinder. So that is one disadvantage here. Okay, so that also we need to consider. Okay, the amount of exhaust gases in the clearance volume, that is going to vary depending upon the speed and load. Okay, so that is one consideration, one important thing in air fuel cycle. And also the fresh charge composition varies its composition, because when it enters in the cylinder, comes in contact with the burn gases. Okay, so if there are any residual gases, that means after the exhaust stroke also, okay, some of the gases are going to be there within the clearance volume. Okay, so if there are some gases within the clearance volume, that means that is going to affect the fresh charge. Okay, that means there is repetition of cycle. Okay, so if the cycle is going to repeat, what is going to happen? Fresh air fuel mixture is going to get into the cylinder. Okay, if there are some residual gases there, okay, that means these are going to be in contact with the fresh in charge. Okay, what are the fresh air fuel mixture is going to come in. Okay, so there may be some raise in pressure and temperature for the air fuel mixture. Okay, I already said. Okay, so because of that contact between these burn gases and fresh air fuel mixture, there may be some raise in pressure and temperature. Okay, because of that raise in pressure and temperature, there may be chances of pre-ignition. Okay, that means before the piston reaches top dead center only, it is going to combust. Okay, because of that, what happens? Pre-ignition, that means pre-combustion is going to happen. Okay, if it is pre-combustion, it is not going to be proper complete combustion. Okay, if there is no complete combustion, no efficiency is going to be high. Okay, that means higher efficiency we are not going to get. Okay, that means high power is not going to develop here. Okay, so we need to depending upon air fuel ratio also, these parameters are going to change. Okay, and these are the important points in case of air fuel cycles. Okay, that's all for today. See through this, you can get an idea, and if you have any doubts, please raise your hand. And Shrikant, please take the attendance.